Welcome to VarieHook Tutorials. In this video, I'll be demonstrating the tall pull-up stitch. So let's get started. Tall pull-ups are a VarieHook original stitch that creates this nice open work row of single V's. We use this stitch in several different patterns. We just have this regular tall pull-up, as well as a tall pull-up cross, as well as a cupcake bobble. If you get our pattern book and you notice the introduction for this stitch, it's about 5,000 words long. It's really hard to explain, but it is ridiculously easy to work. So I want to show you how easy it is to make the tall pull-ups. You begin with a wrong side row of large single crochets, because when we work these pull-ups, we need to have the extra ease from a large and fluffy single crochet. So I'm just going to work the end of this row. You'll notice I'm just sliding it all the way up to large before finishing my single crochet. And because our singles on large are so big, we need to end this row with a double crochet on the small shaft to get that height and give a nice solid edge that is not loose and fluffy like those guys are. So we're going to chain two to turn. And before we do our tall pull-ups, I want to show you what this stitch is not, because it can be confused, but it looks quite different from the waistcoat stitch. All right, for waistcoat stitch, instead of going into the standard stitch space, you go into the V between stitches. This is waistcoat, and you pull up and do a single crochet from coming in at the bottom of this V. And what you get is after row, you get these solid V's coming down like this, and it kind of gives you a knit appearance because you keep these V's. It's not all big and fluffy like crochet. This is not what we're doing, although we are going into a similar space. So if you want to do waistcoat, go find a different tutorial. So here we go. For our tall pull-ups, we are going to look at that V, but we're going to look above. Here we have, here's the little ridge that we have from our single crochets, and you have your top loop and your bottom loop. We're going to separate those and find those two strands, and we're going to split those and make our single crochet between those two strands, just like that. And what that does is our single crochet pulls up the top of the loop, but it allows the bottom loop to drop. And so it will go down to the bottom of this stitch, and all the extra ease is able to come into these two upright strands, and that gives us this open work effect. Now I did it over here to demonstrate. To start a real row, you actually kind of have to cheat a little because this first one, the loop is already partially down. It's still the right place to go in, it just doesn't look quite right. So for my first stitch, I'm actually going to go here. Here's the top loop, there's the bottom one. It looks a little funky because it's at the end and we switched from a single to a double. But there it is. We're going to divide those, go in with a single crochet. Here's the next, divide those. There are the two strands. Go in for a single crochet. Now I'm going to do a few at speed to show you that once you know where to go, see there, I split the strand. Once you know where to go with your hook, it's really easy to hit that. You aren't spending a lot of time digging and looking and wondering if you're in the right spot. There I went in, and I didn't even slow down, but I got the two strands. So it's actually very simple, but you can see why this would take so long to explain in words. So here's a nice row of our tall pull-ups. The tall pull-up crosses are really fun. You've got a front back X going on. And then in Cupcake Bobbles, these strands are the bottom side of the cupcake. And then we pull it together at the top and make a little triangle. So come on back and watch our other videos and work the tall pull-ups into your crochet with the VarieHook. Thanks for watching.